Welcome. Good to see you. Let's begin. So, in our seated position, something that helps us feel tall, helps us feel upright. And feel free to let me. Thank you. So, let's connect to our deep Ujjayi breath. We'll align skull bones over sit bones. And we're going to circle back to just a little opening exercise that we may have done a week or so ago. So I'm going to locate what we call a kidney point, the sole of each of our foot. So we'll do one foot at a time. And usually when we are working with active feet or our abdominals, we're kind of getting a precision sensation in this part of the foot. So I go to the big ball mount. I feel right between those two foot bones or those metatarsals. And you can just put a little pressure, you can massage, I'll recommend a little massage, a little touch, a little pressure, and connect to our deep breath. So it was kind of a revelation for me as I'm embarking on this healing arts journey when it occurred that we are electrical beings, and that if we take care of our electrical components, a lot of good things seem to happen. It's like we can free up these reserves, this sequestered energy that then can serve our growth, our evolution, our healing. So there is some wisdom to addressing backlog in order to update. Okay, now let's switch so we have access to the other sole of foot. There's the same point on the other side, K1, kidney point. It's the big ball mount for just a general grab. It's the big ball mount of the foot. I'm going with a little more precision. I'm going to the big ball mount and slipping in right between the two foot bones. You'll get it. It's there. And just giving a little massage, a little pressure, and connecting to deep Ujjayi breath. And so part of our electrical being, which is, can we conduct information? Can we allow emotions to show up and easily move on, conclude? Can we have an experience and release an experience? This fluidic self is contingent on electrical health. So I'm going to use some electrical analogy a little bit because it's fun. So when we open up our practice, kind of like opening up the doors of a temple, church, right? We're kind of stepping in. We're stepping into our body. We're stepping into this multi-dimensional, multifaceted, electrical, imaginal world. So let's relax hands in our favorite hand position, whether that's palms up, palms down, hands atop one another. And let's close eyes. I'm going to start to move interiorly. So we're foregrounding our interior experience. This is the strength of this particular practice. The strength is that it allows us to magnify and work with great precision and depth in this interior's experience. And feel the skull bones lining up over the sit bones. And what you were just doing at the sole of your foot, that little massage, just like aligning the skull bones over the sit bones, breathing in, breathing on our core, can help set us in a direction for, we'll call it electrical health, prana, the health and the fluidity of our life force. Something that just does not grow old for me is that we are constructing, we are deconstructing, constructing, remodeling this life form as regularly as we come to the mat. Right? We're constructed. What great possibility from that. For our pranayama this morning, we'll work rounds of Kapalabhati paired with rounds of Uddiyana. So I think we did this a day or a few days ago. So Kapalabhati, short, sharp exhalations. We'll do about 40 pumps. And then we'll pause together and we'll work a round of Uddiyana. When I'm working this Kapalabhati pump, almost like I'm pumping a well. It's like I'm drawing that breath, that prana, that life force, that fundamental consciousness from the environment and into my core and into my being. So just like a pump, water. So let it flow. Here we go. Kapalabhati, short, sharp exhales. Let's begin those. After about 40 pumps, let's pause. Like one deep ujjayi breath. Let's get the feet active so we can feel those massage points, those kidney points we were touching a moment ago. Reach those sit bones down into the earth. And let's do our first round of Uddiyana. I'm using the fingertips on the ground. Inhaling. And spreading that breath through your core. There it is. Pause. Hold that breath. It's all right if the body wavers or sways a little bit. Life force has some motion to it, so you may feel a little coiling or swaying or pulsing. Let's bring the hands in front of the knees or the shins. Swiftly exhale. Remain entirely empty of breath. Lower the chin next to sternum and draw the belly in and back and up. Letting this technique of being empty, exploring empty, let it start to tug on those little pranic sequestrations. Some of my teachers call them stuck spots. It's places where prana, life forces, it's kind of wrapped itself around a grain of sand or an irritant and just kind of became stationary for a while. And of course, relaxing belly. So we're going to do that one more time. Let's switch cross of legs. Starting with the Kapalabhati, the exhales. We'll do 40, and one round of Uddiyana. Okay? So, here we go. When you're ready, let us. After that whole series, just come upright, resume your Ujjayi breath. And to clarify a point, when we do this archaeological dig, when we are kind of investigating historical patterns, energetic sequestrations in our field, in our body, it's done in service of our future, it's done in service of our present. So we dig not to go backward. We do it in service of bringing our life, a fullness of life to right now. So as part of that construction, reconstruction, deconstruction. So this is really how we do it. Embodied, this is how we do it energetically, this is how we do it within our own footprint. Let's place the soles of our feet together in Baddha Konasana. Side bend. Right hand beside you. Inhale the left arm up, spreading hand bones. And exhaling, reach that left hand away from left sit bone. I'm going to change a little bit of our cueing today just so you can play in and around the wrist and the hand. These are what we call like secondary chakras. So they're really juiced up areas. Not quite like the area along the center of our body, but still pretty juicy. As we connect to breath, you can just feel for something we might ordinarily do, which is we reach the fingertips away from the sit bone. As you can feel the inside tips of your left hand. Now in a slight variation, I'm going to have you push the palm away from your sit bones. You're actually kind of flaring your fingers back, almost like a downward dog. Just kind of palm pushing away from that left sit bone. And you feel how that line may tug a little differently through the elbow or through the side of your body. And now inhaling, stretch that left arm up and over and over and over. And if we have the palm facing down, we're going to do a little rolling up maneuver. So now my hand is wide open. And as I exhale, I'm going to curl each finger in, starting with the pinky, curl it in, the ring finger, curling it in, middle, index, thumb, wrap it around, and I'll send your knuckles away from your earlobe. So I'm kind of using a fist and pushing my knuckles away and even down. Do that once more. Inhale, open up the hand. Now for added effect, I'm also tipping my head to the right like neck release. Now exhaling, reach out through the littlest finger, curling it in, ring, middle, index, thumb, making a fist, get that thumb palm muscle really grabbing, and pull those knuckles down away from your wrist. Reaching the wrist away from your earlobe. And when you release, we'll open up, or rather help our head up with the right hand. Side bend. And some hand variations. Left hand beside us. Inhale, draw the right arm up. This initially, I'm just going to spread my hand out, and exhale, feel the fingertips lengthening away from the right sit bone. I'm going to flex or just change the position of my hand. I'm bending at the wrist. Now I'm pushing my palm away from my right sit bone. Think of like a handstand, like I'm pushing my palm, lengthening through my entire core, reaching my sit bone down away from my palm. Inhaling, let's draw that right arm up and over to our right. I'm going to leave the head tipped a little left. Once my right hand is slightly lower than my shoulder, Exhaling and curl those fingers in one at a time, pinky ring, middle, all the way through. Wrap it around, make strong fist, send the knuckles down. Reach them down and reach the wrist away from your collarbone. Inhaling, open up the palm. And one more time, exhaling, reach out through each finger as independently, individuatedly as possible. Curling, wrap them up, make a fist. Send the knuckles down. Send the wrist away from the collarbone. And if you engage that tricep, you might start to open up and get into that bicep. If that bicep and shoulder have been tight or damaged, start to get into that. And release. Let's inhale, and with left hand help, set the head up right. Hands and arms ready. Let's lie on our back. Let's have our roll nearby. When we lie on back today, bring the feet off ground for elbow to knee, and set the hands behind head. The version of these that will work today is star spiral pulse, or where we're rotating our thigh bone inwardly. And just a reminder, when we're lying our back, internal rotation is, let's say my foot is in the 12 o'clock position. Okay, I'll be rolling it so my toes turn toward the middle of my body. I'll talk us through. Inhale, float the head and the shoulders off the ground. Use a little abdominal pressure to feel the backside contact the earth. Exhale, straighten the left leg, go straight up. So I'm going to rotate my thigh bone, taking the toes from 12 o'clock to like 1 or 2 o'clock. Just press up through that heel once or twice. Pull low belly down. Good. Inhale, bend that left knee. A little abdominal pressure sets the back in contact with the ground. Exhale, right leg reaches up. So now for my right leg, I'm taking toes from 12 o'clock and turning that leg till they face like 11, 10 o'clock. Pulse up, reach up, pull low belly down. Inhale, bend that right knee. Support the head with that right hand. Abdominal pressure may tip the tailbone up. Exhale, left heel reaches for sky. Go legs straight up, roll that thigh bone inwardly, and pulse up 1, 2, 3 times. Pull low belly down. Inhale, bend left knee. Abdominal pressure sets the back in contact with earth. Exhale, right heel, reach it straight up. I'm flexing the foot. I'm getting this foot really active, rotating it in so I can reach up, pulse up through the heel bone. It's different than pulsing up through the toes. Pull low belly down. Inhale, bend right knee. We're back to our start spot. We'll just do 2 more. Abdominal pressure sets the back and the bones to the earth. Exhale, left leg reaches. Flexed foot, roll it inwardly, pulsing it up. Keep turning it in. So I'm really trying to, by pulsing, I get maybe a little more rotation, a little more rotation. It's kind of like when you're trying to get your key out of a frozen lock, you just kind of gently wiggle it in and out and in and out and in and out, and you can start to get that key moving in the frozen lock. So, same principle. Continue. Do the one on the right. I'm taking my whole leg bone and just kind of wiggling it up and letting it recoil and pressing, reaching it up, letting it recoil, just getting a little more rotation, a little more of that key turn. Pull low belly down. Let's do one more on each side on our own. It's just it's a gentle little jimmying pulse. To me, this pulse has a lot of respiration match. You feel how your cellular and connective tissue breathe. You start to feel how it actually kind of pulses at its kind of unique rhythm. All right. And after those couple, we'll just set the feet down. You can breathe into sacrum, you can breathe into hip sockets. The roll is next. Let's grab that thing. We've got it between our thighs. We'll reach the legs straight up. Today, I'll recommend flexing the feet or reaching up explicitly through the heels, pulling the toes, the forefoot, toward your belly. Inhale with relaxed feet for now. Pause. Now go ahead, squeeze, roll. Actively flex the feet. So heels up, forefoot down. Exhale, float the head and the shoulder blades up. So you're squeezing the roll, turning on those inner thighs, pressing the heel bones away from your sacral bones. Now pull low belly down. Good. Releasing some of those pressures. Inhale, the head to the ground. Relax the feet. Relax the squeeze. Pause. Full holding breath. Squeeze, roll, flex feet. Exhale, float head and shoulders up. Emphasize heel reach. Inner thigh squeeze. Actively pull the toes toward your navel. Pull low belly down. Inhale, relax all of that strong leg stuff, setting the head down. So we'll proceed like this. Let's do 4 more. Let's do those at our own pace. Get that inner thigh activated. Often that ankle can start to articulate slightly differently. Ankles, kind of like a secondary, a tertiary chakra. So it's yet another one of those hot spots of the body. It's fascinating area of our body where sometimes we find the information, sequestered information of kind of carrying out, taking those next right steps forward in our life. Sometimes we can find the energetics of hang up or procrastination here. Just a little gentle discoveries in and through the hip and the knee and the ankle, how we take our steps, our refusal to take steps, right? Quicksand, that feeling of I can't advance or I cannot, step into that vision, that idea, that process. Or you may just have the sensation of there's my feet. And it feels really good. Sometimes I'd just like to offer what might be in these bodily areas. There's enough human pattern formation that it's worth mentioning, but of course, your experience is uniquely yours. I won't tell you that you have that in your body. It's for you to find, you to explore. All right. And once we've set our feet down, the roll to the side, let's turn over and prep for dolphin. And we'll be working dolphin one leg up. Just so you know. So we'll go elbows under shoulders, knees under hips, inhaling into sides of ribs, back of heart, and with our neck relaxed, exhaling, press knees off ground. Now, remain in dolphin as I describe what we just did. We internally rotated our thigh bone. Now, without twisting your foot, without doing an actual motor movement, a twisty movement, can you engage that part of your thigh, that inner thigh? If you just kind of imagine your rotating thigh in, right? And now press through that kidney point, that place that you massaged. So you're doing both simultaneously. Now, if you just got your legs turned on in a whole new way, congratulations. We'll use those new leg connections to lift pelvis and torso off of shoulders. I'm going to maintain that inner leg connection, that ball of foot connection through that left leg as I raise the right foot. Bring the right foot down and reestablish that inner thigh, that internal rotation, just involving the inner leg without twisting the right leg, just as if pressing through that kidney point. And let's raise the left leg. And inhaling, let's set that left foot down. And we'll place the knees down, relaxing out of dolphin. There will be some occasions today to involve those inner legs just like so. A few more times. Super helpful in any kind of split action, handstand action, it's just, we'll find that pattern able to repeat itself. Slide the hands under the shoulders. And on your next exhale, press knees off ground, downward dog. Inhaling, step left foot forward for pyramid. This is a good first place to just feel out this inner leg. If you're having a challenging time discovering this front leg, inner left leg working in your pyramid, here's what I can recommend. Your right hand can be planted, just like your roll, to the inside of that left thigh. I can palm push my left thigh, and then my left leg just presses right back. Actually a pretty great way to turn on the leg muscles in a really vibrant manner. Now, if you are employing that pressure on those inner leg muscles, what's kind of cool is you can feel what your leg is doing. You can feel the contraction around the knee. Now breathe into your low back. Yeah, and if you're working that contraction of the leg, holding that contraction for 3 full breaths, 4, 5 breaths, starts to become some really significant work. So if you're looking for a little more heat, or you're working to just find and work those fibers down to the bone, that's a great way to do that. That's really nice. It's stable, it's strong, it sets off this neurological kind of fireworks display for your brain and your bones and your ligaments and your fascia. So it's pretty great. All right, let's bend that left knee. Inhale, step the right foot forward, and we'll stand. Let me face you. We're going to keep the left leg down. And beloved tree pose. We visit this once in Once in a blue moon. Let's make today that blue moon. Okay. Your working tree pose, it can be pressing foot along the inner left calf or the inner left thigh. With regards to the hands can go prayer position in front of heart, can go overhead. Now, exactly like that pyramid, I'm pushing my left inner leg into my right foot. I just want you to get that sensation of the inside of the leg tweezing toward the middle of your body. Right up into that inner, what do we call it? The groin, the inner hip. And now, releasing that tree leg, let's pick that right foot up with two hands for standing pigeon. So I'm taking the right foot, two hands, turning the toes to point skyward. Now I don't have the same prop to press my left leg against, but I can still activate it, still snugly in my memory, my cell memory. And we'll release. Set that right foot down. And we'll step back into downward dog. So the plan today is to activate. So we'll get some of these muscles working. And then we can go into some depth places. All right. Inhaling, let's set the right foot forward, pyramid. I'm going to recommend putting that left hand into your inner right thigh, right where you would have the roll. This is like a one-legged roll squeeze. Push that right leg into the palm. And that left palm, I'm going to push it right back in there. So my left chest area is activated. My inner right thigh is activated. And I'm working those muscles around the knee, so I'm contracting that right quad. Now deep Ujjayi breath. Keep those muscles working through the next several deep breaths. Sounds simple. Feels maybe less simple. Now, if you've sprained an ankle or you've taken a fall of sorts, this can be a really nice part of coming back from ligamental injury. Kind of working up the sustained, enduring strength of those ligaments, those muscles. You can start to build that up. And when we release, inhaling, soft, and step left foot forward. Come on up to standing. Tree pose. So we're standing on right leg. And now we're using the left foot as pressure, as plants. I'm not just pushing my leg off to the side, my hip off to the side. I'm tweezing now my right leg into the foot. Okay. This is important too. There's this little muscle above my knee. Okay, it's right by my foot. Engage that. Okay, you should feel nothing funny or strange around the knee. Engage the muscles. And then keep working them, keep engaging them. Get that really vibrant, right? That squeeze, let that charge. Connect to breath. Stay with that charge. Keep keeping that connection. There can be a lot of zip in those legs. There can be a lot of pranic sequestrations in the hips and the legs. Let's release. And now standing pigeon, grab the left foot with 2 hands. All right, right leg. And release. Cool. So take a moment, connect to breath, and I want to describe 2 things at the wall. A couple of you may select to do one of these, but shower and handstand. So I know my butt's kind of pointing at you, but I'm at a right angle. You remember that? So we're going to start there first. Now after this shower, we'll be working some handstand, and a couple of us may not be doing handstand. That's fine. We can do whatever amount of hand work, arm work that we can do. So let me talk us into shower. You have a section of wall. Stand about 3 feet away, hands shoulder width apart. Hinge at the hips until your legs and your spine form approximately a right angle. Fine adjust the feet so you can draw the sit bones away from the palms. Hey, we did this already. Okay. So you can actively flex your wrist, okay, and push the palm away from your sit bone. The sit bones, you'll reach away from your palm. And you might, Susan W., be able to slide your hands down to the molding. Yeah, go right to the molding there. Mm-hmm. And that might be right about where you're starting to feel those differences. If you're in a spot, SW, that where the palm starts to leave the wall, just pause right there and just pulse, press, extend. So I get it. If it's not quite touching or hovering, just add those little amounts of pressures, that little. if you have a little map of where you can feel the pressure, you can build on that map. Yeah, hope that makes sense. So you're creating a pressure map on your hand. As you find more and more hand-wall contact in this pose, that map will become higher fidelity, and you'll be able to feel those changes and improvements. All right. Now, we're going to release here for a moment so we can work handstand. Handstand can be kicking up. Handstand can be downward dog on the wall. Handstand can be more shower on the wall. I know we're at all sorts of different stages and capacities. So, again, more shower, downward dog on the wall, or handstand. Those of you kicking up handstand, and I've got my eyeball on you, use those inner legs. So if you're kicking up, I think you are. Find that inner leg, that pyramid inner leg, to move you up. And I'm happy to watch or see anything you want me to watch. That's it, Susan M. Now find those inner thighs, Susan M. Yep, all the way up to the ball. There it is. There it is. Even more that left ball of foot, right ball of foot. Anna. There you go. It's going to be right through that inner knee. There you go. Yeah, but it's got so much float. It's so great. Yes. Yes. Nice. So right here, in whatever version you are working, get those inner thighs working in that rotation way, that And we'll just take a moment or a few moments to conclude. There's no rush. There never is. So right here, Anna, your weight might be shifting into your left hand, you have weight in both hands, true? There you go. There, yes. All right. Now, as you move back to your mat, maybe some other ways we can play with that. Let's stand at the top. Great. Inhale, draw the arms up overhead. Feel the heels sink into the earth. Exhaling, fold forward. Exhale with those low belly muscles. Inhaling, step your left leg back, arrow lunge. So we'll place the knee down, the top of the left foot down, and exhaling, push down. Foot pushes down, Knee may lift up. If it's appropriate for you today, you may bring your hands to your thigh. You may bring those arms overhead. However the hands are positioned, find that inner thigh, that activation. Find that linkage through that kidney point, that ball of foot, the big toe. So it's a long strand of feeling energetic leg line. And release just by setting the left knee down. Inhale, hands to ground. Exhaling, let's step right foot back, lower all the way down to the ground. Reach back through both inner legs, both big toes. And this is a pretty illustrative moment, I feel. And you reach back through both inner thighs, activate both inner thighs, reach back through both big toes. Take 1 or 2 breaths, so appreciating any difference that is perceptible to you. Inhaling, cobra. Lengthen the low back away from the inner thighs. Exhaling, lower down, downward dog. Do that arrow lunge on the other side. Inhale, left foot forward. So set up, knee down, top of right foot down. Exhaling is pressing down. Now, as I press down, I have to go in accord with my tissues' abilities. So if you've had some injuries here, you may just have to pause with some enduring pressure and just start to knit and work and feel those lines of connection. Some of you may be pressing the knee up. Find that inner thigh. How do you activate that inner thigh? I'm not rolling the thigh bone, but it's that kind of action. And reaching all the way out that big toe. Kidney point, big toe. Inhaling, let's set that right knee down, hands down. Exhaling, step left foot back. Engage those inner legs in plank, all the way down to earth. Cobra, activate inner legs, inhale. The mid-spine, pull it away from the low spine. Exhaling, lower, downward dog. Revolve pyramid. Inhale, right foot forward. Turn around here. I use a block for my left hand. And that block can be placed on either side of your foot. If it's on the inside of your foot, it may feel more stable. If it's on the outside of your foot, then you get to really practice using those inner thighs to keep you up, which I love for today. All right, so revolve pyramid, heel to heel alignment. My left hand is down. I'm using block today. My inner thighs are on, like they haven't been on all day. Inhaling, draw the right arm up. Exhaling, press the hands apart, reach the sit bones back. Now, if ever there was a time to find those inner leg and those quadricep muscles, let them shine now. So when I work that back quadricep, that left thigh, then I can sink that left heel bone into the earth. And that might be your thing, Anna. As long as there's no knee issues, if you can engage that VM. Go ahead. You can really squeeze up those quads. And you feel how that really opens up that back of knee. And then just play for the heel bone. Reach the heel bone away from your VM. That's fun. Take a deep breath when you got that leg charge. That's neat. Hope that feels good in that leg. Those calf muscles can get literally like clumped together. They can get kind of glopped, tissue healed in too much solidarity. So pressing out through that heel bone is part of keeping those calf groupings slippy and slidey. All right, inhale, bring the hands down to the ground. We can move our prop. Exhale, chaturanga. I want to give you this option of inhaling into upward dog. Now, if you choose upward dog, press vibrantly down through those tops of feet as you pull the elbows back, pulling the chest forward. Exhaling, downward dog. Revolved pyramid. On the other side, inhale, left foot forward. We place the right hand down on block. I'm going heel to heel alignment today. This is very narrow. Drawing the left arm up. So there was a pose some while back where we pushed into the inner thigh. We pushed the inner thigh toward our middle. Maybe you can find that same inner leg activation here. Good. Go ahead and activate that quadricep muscle. It's above the knee. So here too, you can get that left VM stoked, Anna. Since you know where that little teardrop muscle is, go for it. Vastus meaty something. Teardrop. There you go. You almost have to sink back into the heel to get all of that quadricep lit. I say go for it. These muscles are so spectacular. There it is. Good. Inhale, bring that left hand down. Now, when we exhale, let's step back for chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward dog. All right. Now let's have a rest. I would like to show and remind you of this one lunge variant that we do maybe 3 times a year. Might be the second time this year. Okay. So I will show it to you. It involves props between the wall and your back leg. It is important that these props are soft enough to give you some, like your bones aren't going to press against hard surface. And I need enough prop, let me get back here, so that I'm not like mashed up against the wall. I find the best place to set this up is on the corner or a partition or a threshold. And that way I have lots of elbow room. Okay. But if you can see this, I've started with a lunge and my back leg gets, I'm putting the floof on the inner ankle. And we tweeze, so you'll get all of that inner leg going, and we press up into lunge. Okay. Let me just say that much. And if you have any more questions about this setup, I'm here for you. But just start to look around your environment. If you've got a threshold, a corner, those will be the best. Set up 1 block or 2 blocks, cushion and block. Just get that really well padded for your foot muscles, foot bones. Now switch your legs, Susan W. So, yep. So the back leg of your lunge receives the props on the inside ankle. Did I say that right? Okay. So the props are on the inner ankle of the back lunge leg. Sometimes I turn those blocks, so if all you've got is wall, Anna, you may have to go long somehow, or yeah. So it's a little bit of a setup to find your right distance. Now, we're getting set up in this lunge. We're going till we don't anymore. So this is one of those places where it's going to be a controlled approach to fatigue. And as long as it's breathable, we're going to just let this leg zest, effervesce through our person. So I encourage you, stay 10, 20, 25 breaths. But let's explore. We'll take our time. So if something feels a little odd, let me know. If you want me to look at your setup, I'll look at that. But whenever you're ready, you may curl those toes under, press that knee off the ground, and give those props the tweeze. Give them the business. Because as you press and engage those inner leg parts, as you reach out through that ball of foot area, you're going to go very strong, and then you'll be able to deepen. So if you've got the walls to your left, Susan M., you'll need to switch your legs. So the prop is in the inner ankle. of your back leg. Maybe I'm not seeing which way you're, okay. So the props will be on the inner left ankle. Is that true? If you want me to see something, just tip down a little bit and I can see it with you. Okay, cool. Okay, can you get those blocks on the inner left ankle, between the wall? So it'll go wall, prop, ankle. Yep. Yep. There you go. Hopefully you have enough space. There you go. So you're actually pressing the prop against the wall. That's the leg action we take with this. Mm-hmm. So. So we're going until the interest has subsided. And then we'll switch, we'll take our time to switch sides. The wonderful thing about this lunge, if you get the setup just so, you can start to feel really strong connections from pelvis through legs into ground. To appreciate it, you might like standing in between the sides. If you stand between doing sides, that energetic continuity can be something to behold. There you go. That's it, Anna. Yeah, the trickiest thing is the setup, just giving ourselves enough room. We're all moving at our own pace, but let's say we're getting close to or we're starting to address the other side. I get the heel directly over the ball of the foot. And I'm pressing to that ball of foot. Lunging, pressing that knee off the ground. And you can use that inner ankle, that inner leg tweeze to support you. Tremendous support. Now, in these legs, we may be accessing a lot of energy, a lot of sensation, a lot of effort. Metabolically, there can be a lot going on in here. Just muscles working, 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 working. Stay with it. Lengthen. Connection, lengthen. Use your breath to put that into circulation. We start to uncover things. Breathing helps bring that into circulation. It's like upcycling. We don't just carve out these energetic sequestrations, they get upcycled. We breathe them, we light them up, we observe them, we feel them, we digest them, we process them, and then we construct with them. We build with them, we create with them, we give with them. These are right in here is the building blocks of our new construction, our evolutionary self. And when the interest and the curiosity wanes, just rest. And I want you to work whatever side you're on until you feel complete and satisfied. There's no need to rush out, but it's a great time to check in with vertical splits on the wall or kicking up again in handstand. You're splitting the legs apart now may feel entirely different than the beginning of our practice. So right now we've got an option. Choose your own adventure. Vertical splits on the wall or kicking up into handstand one more time. I'm going to choose vertical splits on the wall. Ooh, I can't wait to see this, Anna. There it is. There you go. That's it, Susan W. Good stuff. So following your lunge, choose one or the other, vertical splits on the wall or kicking up into handstand again. I have a feeling those inner legs will be both open and supportive in a wholly new way. So there you go. Someone's doing a leg dance. We'll take about 6-7 breaths each side. So for following with each other, I'm changing sides. I'm doing vertical splits on wall and I've just changed sides. consider a conclusion in the near future. Well, have a seat when you feel done. So that was a lot of inner legwork today, I think. Let's just visit the outsides of our hips, make sure everything feels right in our back and our sacrum. So let's choose knee pile, right over left. I'm just working this into a forward fold. It's really simple. Go feet active, hands out in front, and I'll just begin my forward fold in knee pile. You can feel with your breath, with your mindfulness, how energy is reconfiguring in your pelvis, in your hips, in your legs, in your core. To feel these, to me they can be like, it's like when the lake waters change persona. It can be kind of this pulsing, reconfiguring. It's almost like the waves hit the shore a little differently. And if I can feel that and appreciate that, and that just becomes part of that reconstruction. Right? Let's walk ourselves up. Let's change sides. So we'll go knee pile left over right. And we're simply folding forward. Breathing into back and hips. Feeling where there's a little maybe shift. Maybe some people feel openness, some people feel lightness, some people feel heat. Some it may feel like currents, wind currents, water currents. It's in these moments when I can feel and appreciate that my body is in some subtle process of changing and adjusting. That I also like to remember how I may reorganize is best left to that intelligence. It's best if my agenda fingerprints aren't on that. So here's where I trust implicitly when I feel there's opening, changing, swirling, reconfiguring, resettling. So I like to remember self-organizing, intelligence-led, with my curious observation it's like I get to learn from nature how the next new configuration may look, how it may feel. I don't think I have that strategy. So let's walk ourselves up and let's complete this process in Shavasana. So when you unwind, Shavasana is just one more dose of that. Feeling for what's reconfigured, what's reorganizing, what's open, what's shifted, what's changed, what's new. So please help yourself into a most restful position. And feeling breath, this breath of life, nourishing these reconfigurements, even if they're momentary. Let's bring our inquisitive, loving attention in these moments of structural quiescence. The structure that holds our persona, holds our cherished thoughts and beliefs. When they're at rest, we may be able to feel what else? That source that undergirds this all. Glimpsing that animating force. As we do these archaeological digs, these interior explorations, to bring about a new future, a new present, more fullness. So if you're ready, bend knees. Turn to a side. Press to seated. May we create beautiful worlds. Namaste.